Inspector Fleming?
Who are you?
Lieutenant Columbo, police.
I don't understand. What's happened here? Where's my wife?
Maybe you better sit down. I've got some bad news for you.
Has something happened to Carol?
You sure you don't want to sit down? Mrs. Williams?
Yes?
Lieutenant Columbo, local police. I seem to have dropped my pen out here somewhere.
Just a minute. Would you like some help?
Oh, no, that won't be necessary. Thank you very much. I'll just take another quick look.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ken. Lieutenant Columbo, Mr. Franklin.
How you doing?
Well, the question is, how you doing, Lieutenant?
Well, I'm afraid we just got started.
Has Jim been found yet?
Has he been found yet? Why, did somebody tell you he was gone?
Lieutenant. Lieutenant Columbo, this is Mr. Brimmer.
How do you do?
Lieutenant?
You've heard of Brimmer Associates?
No, I haven't.
Well, it's security and investigations, Lieutenant. You might say you and I are in the same business.
Oh, really?
Matter of fact, I was talking about you just last night. I ran into the commissioner at a party. He speaks very highly of you.
General Hollister?
Yes?
I'm from the police, sir. My name is Columbo. Lieutenant Columbo.
Yes, Lieutenant?
I'm terribly sorry to disturb you, sir, but we have this report about this shooting.
A shooting?
Yes, sir. In this house.
That's quite an opening line, Lieutenant.
Sir, I'm sure it's just a crackpot complaint, but
But it's your job to follow it up.
Yes, sir. Mr. Kingston, before you get too involved there, excuse me a minute,
Okay.
Captain. I wonder if maybe first you try to help me out with a problem that I have.
Yes.
It's this painting.
What's the problem? Haven't you ever seen people without faces before? They've loaned them out. You've heard of two-faced people, I suppose.
Oh, yes. But, you see, it's this crazy signature that bonds
De Groot, George De Groot, quite famous.
What time did you go to bed tonight, Miss Chadwick?
About 9:30. I didn't feel very well yesterday, so I didn't go out.
Excuse me. Did I hear you say you stayed home today?
Yes, that's
didn't-
what I said.
You didn't go out at all?
No, no, that's what I said.
Thank you.
So when you got there, then he was already dead.
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, sir?
Who are you?
Is that you? Your aunt said it sounded like your car down here in the drive. I mean, you're Mr. Sanford, aren't you?
Well, obviously. And who might you be?
Oh, I'm sorry, Columbo. Lieutenant Columbo. I'm from the police.
The police? You mean that old heap out there is yours?
Oh, yeah. Needs a coat of paint, doesn't it?
You've heard this before, but you understand it's a fantastic building, really. Yes, you see, it's to be 32 stories high. It's revolutionary in concept, really, because it won't be offices so much as living modules, almost cocoons where a man can coordinate his activities outside the context of mere business. In fact, if he chooses, it can become virtually a second home, kind of a remarkable place of mobility and freedom. I don't know how the wives will feel about that, of course, but In any case, these units will be for sale for all those who qualify. You're asking about the price earlier. We've been, well, we haven't quite figured it out. We've been dickering around somewhere between 30 and 36,000 per unit, of course. Something you want?
Well, I didn't mean to interrupt like this and barge in, but I'm looking for Mrs. Williamson.
I'm Mrs. Williamson.
Mrs. Bo Williamson?
That's right.
And who might you be?
Lieutenant Columbo. You called the police?
I did?
Well, that's what they told me.
Lieutenant, I may not be the brightest lady in the world, but I do know whether I made a phone call or not.
Sorry, sir, you can't come in. I'm Alex Benedict.
Let him in.
Miss Wells was supposed to appear at the Bowl tonight. Hello. I'm the conductor of the symphony there. We're all deeply concerned about what has happened here.
I'm Sergeant Meyer.
Oh.
Can you tell us anything about Miss Wells?
No, not really. Not about this. I only knew her as a great artist.
What time was she due at the Bowl?
Around 7:30. We phoned when she didn't come. Her line was busy. When we finally reached the operator, there was no one on the line. That's when my assistant, William Johnson, called you. The police, you see.
Sergeant, radio call.
Excuse me, please.
Find something?
I dropped my flower. My coat must have knocked it off.
Pin is bent. I'm Lieutenant Columbo. I'm a fan of yours. A really big fan. In fact, I just got your latest album.
Thank you. Didn't realize that you were interested in piano concertos.
No. I'm talking about the album of Strauss-Waltz's The Blue Danube. You know the one I mean?
Yes, I've forgotten that.
Oh, my wife and I, we both love it. We play it every once in a while.
This is Lieutenant,
Columbo, how do you do, sir?
this is Jarvis Goodland, Tony's uncle.
Did I hear you say you had something to tell us?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, Mr. Goodland. We found your husband's car about an hour ago. It was in a canyon off Middle Cross Road. Smashed up pretty badly, I'm afraid. Kind of a long drop off that particular spot. Even worse, we found a bullet hole in the window on the driver's side. You already heard this?
No.
Oh, well, it kind of seems to me that if somebody popped in and told my wife that they found my car at the bottom of a canyon with a bullet hole in it, you know, I think that she would want to ask if I was in the car, or if I was hurt, if I was alive, if I was dead.
You're quite right, Lieutenant. We do know much of what you're telling us.
Jarvis.
It's always better to tell the truth, my dear, especially to the police.
It's a private box, mister.
Well, I knocked. You are Mr. Paul Hamlin, aren't you? I've seen your pictures in the newspaper.
I'm busy now.
Tied it up.
Who are you? What do you want?
Lieutenant Columbo, sir, LAPD.
Police?
I'm afraid I have some bad news for you, Mr. Hamlin, and since we can't locate Mrs. Wagner... Well, Eric Wagner was found dead a little while ago in the swimming pool.
Eric?
Sorry, sir.
Oh, no.
Man, it's a lucky thing I packed a spare in my pocket instead of my suitcase.
Thank you.
It got lost somewhere.
You're American.
L.A. got in yesterday. 7:07, 11 hours.
At least you're not a photographer. My makeup must look dreadful.
Actually, I did bring a camera and I wanted to take a picture of you, but not now. Wrong time. You can keep that.
Thank you.
Guess you must have been as close to Sir Roger lately as anybody in the whole world.
He was our dearest friend. Sir Roger was mostly retired, you know, until the last few months, when he persuaded us to do this lavish production. What he'd always wanted to do. Now he won't even be able to see it.
Terrible time to ask, but how could I get tickets? I'd love to see the show tonight.
Well, I think I could... Well, can't your newspaper arrange it? You are a reporter.
Oh, no, ma'am, no. Oh, no, I'm terribly sorry. No, my name is Columbo. I'm just a visiting fireman.
Fireman?
Well, that's just an expression. I'm a policeman.
Police?
Yeah. You see, I'm just tagging along with that fellow over there. Mr. Dirk, Detective Chief Superintendent, Scotland Yard. Showing me around London.
Please, come on in.
Oh. Yeah.
What's the matter, Lieutenant? Are you all right?
No, it's just that... You know, Miss Chandler, if anybody ever told me I'd be standing here, I mean, right face to face with you, I mean, I've been in love with you all my life.
I know. You never expected to meet a legend.
Would you do me a favor? Would you call my wife? Just say hello. It'd give her a tremendous thrill. I mean, she saw every picture you've ever been in, ever since she was a kid. I mean, ever since high school.
I know how long ago that was, Lieutenant. It's right there.
Thank you very much. Just take a minute. She get a big bang out of it. It's me. Put her on. Where is she? Went to get fish.
This is Dr. Mayfield. Any calls for me? Nothing? Fine. Would you get me surgery, please? Hello, Alex. Dr. Mayfield. For my 10 o'clock surgery, would you order up... Postponed? Why? Sharon? No. No, I haven't heard that. They found her dead. Oh, no. Where? Well, what happened? Do they have any idea who did it?
We don't know yet.
Just a minute. Who are you?
Lieutenant Columbo, police.
Oh. Alex, I'll talk to you later.
Sorry. Excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I have so much trouble trying to find my way around hospitals. You know, there are so many wings. There's the north wing and the south wing and the east wing. No sleep last night. It's very hard for me to think. What'd you say?
I say, what is it you want?
Oh, I'm looking for Dr. Mayfield.
I'm Dr. Mayfield.
Oh, well, I'm very pleased to meet you. Terrible thing. Young girl like that.
She was my nurse, you know.
Yeah.
What was it, robbery?
We're not sure of anything yet.
If that is the press, I've no statement. They're not to be permitted.
Say, what's in this thing here?
Well, the usual stuff a guy picks up when he's in a hurry. Toilet articles, pajamas, a couple of extra shirts.
Like I said, officer, I'm Mr. Williams with the hotel in charge of the chess tournament.
That's all right, Gary.
Excuse me, Mr. Burroughs.
Yes, Mr. Clayton, what can I do for you?
This envelope was in my room. The maid said she'd found it under my door.
We noticed the engraved stationery, sir. We haven't opened it.
It's one of our official envelopes.
Excuse me, sir. Do you mind if I read them? You're the champion, aren't you? I want to say it's a great honor to meet you. I've got a cousin up there in Albany. He wears big, thick glasses, and he thinks you're the greatest thing in the world.
That makes two of them.
And I just took off. I waved goodbye to Mrs. Peck and drove away. I mean, he was as healthy as a horse when I saw him. He was in the gym, he was fencing. It's inconceivable. I can't believe it. Hello.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Pierce.
Thank you.
Mrs. Peck?
May I come in? I'm Lieutenant Columbo. Who may you be?
How do you do? Dexter Paris, Mr. Paris's nephew. I hope it's okay I'm here. Mrs. Peck phoned me and I came over.
Oh, listen, I'm glad you came. I mean, well, things like this, they can be awfully rough on everybody. Enjoy it? Miss Scott, right?
Yes?
I'm sorry, forgive me. I didn't mean to intrude. You know, upstairs they told me you'd be down here, but this is some building you got here. I mean, you got everything
Do
in
I
this
know
building.
you?
You don't know me, ma'am, but I sure know you. Every time I shave, there you are. It's a pleasure. My name's Lieutenant Columbo. I'm from the LAPD. Do you have a moment?
Oh, carry on, Ferdy. Come this way, please.
All right, Adele, let's take it from the top.
Murdered? How horrible.
Yes, it's terrible, ma'am.
What'd you say his name was? Lessing? Oh, not that nice young man in Dr. Murchison's department.
A chemist, ma'am, yes.
Yes.
But I understand he was going to be fired today.
Oh, well, it had nothing to do with him, Lieutenant. Poor boy. I wonder if he had any family.
No, ma'am, he didn't.
I'm sorry about Mr. Rick, sir. We in the lab share your grief.
Oh, well, the Lord gave us, Sam. The Lord, you know, it was a shock for all of us. It's hard to believe that I'm now the last surviving member of my family.
Are you going to change anything here? I mean, some of us were wondering...
Oh, Lord, no. No, don't worry about a thing, Jerry. The winery will go on doing what it's always done, providing the very best wine we can. That's the way Rick would have wanted it.
Mr. Carsini?
Yes?
May I speak to you for a moment? Your secretary sent me over.
If it's about a position, the personnel office is open from 9 to 5. The man you want to see there is... Let's go to my office.
Only take a moment, sir. I know how valuable your time is.
Yes. Can I help you?
Lieutenant Columbo, ma'am, police. I'd like to speak to Mr. Hayward.
Oh, no need for concern. He's perfectly safe. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, I know, but I'd like to speak to him. This is important. I'd like to speak.
Oh, I know it's important, but we're having a private party. It's my birthday.
Oh.
So why don't you just go around in the back and have yourself a piece of cake? The maid will fix you a hot cup of coffee and a piece of cake.
Well, thank you very much, ma'am. I appreciate that, but...
Look, don't be so serious. Go have a piece of cake. Really, it's delicious.
This is, ma'am, I'm sorry.
Yes.
It can't wait.
All right. I can't wait. What's your name?
Columbo.
Lieutenant Columbo. Excuse me. This is Lieutenant Columbo, the police.
Oh?
Couldn't wait.
Lieutenant? Hey, trapped me in my lair, eh?
Sorry to disturb your party,
Oh,
Mr.
no. It's I who should apologize to you fellas. After all, avoiding your compatriots like that, I'm sorry, but it's my wife's birthday, and I'd planned this little surprise, you see. I'll call the commissioner's office in the morning and apologize and get those other detectives off the hook as well, huh? Why don't you fix yourself a drink, make yourself at home, take your coat off. This security problem really
Sergeant, are you sure you checked every exit in the building?
Oh, yes, sir, we did. But this is a big building. Somebody could have gotten in here a dozen different ways.
I'm supposed to have security in this building. Where the hell were they?
Excuse me,
Yes.
Mr. Keppel?
Yeah, well, no, Dr. Keppel.
Oh, doctor. Sorry. Doctor, I wouldn't be too hard on those building security people. There's no way that they could be expected to anticipate a thing like this.
Lieutenant Columbo?
Lieutenant, I would like my client released. He's being treated like a common criminal, and I want to know why.
Well, there has been a crime. Mr. Chase, is it?
David Chase.
Mr. Greenleaf?
Yes, that's right.
My name is Lieutenant Columbo. Anybody want coffee?
No, I want to go home. Why don't you just tell me what the bail is, and I'll take Mr. Greenleaf home.
I wouldn't know, sir. I'm not connected with the traffic division. I'm attached to homicide.
Homicide?
Yeah.
What is all this about?
I just want to ask Mr. Greenleaf if he can identify a voice for me.
Just a minute.
Won't take long.
Offering him hope and a chance to wash away the wounds of war that had brutalized him. He turned to look at Lee Chen sleeping on a straw mattress.
It's Alan's voice.
Her tiny body heaving fitfully. Would not wake her. It was better that she find him gone. Saigon.
Yes, it's Alan Mallory.
Far away. Slowly, he turned
All right,
away.
I've identified the voice. Can I leave now?
That's right, sir. I'm afraid this man is dead.
Lieutenant Columbo? This is Margaret Nicholson.
How do you do, ma'am? I'm sorry to bother you at this time.
I'd like to get this over with as quickly as possible.
Yes, ma'am, right away. I understand that you found your father here this morning.
That's right, and he's my husband, not my father.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's a common mistake. Go on, Lieutenant.
You found him here this morning. You weren't here last night?
I was at the Institute. I'm a psychologist. We were having an all-night therapy session.
I see. Now, I understand that there was some heroin in your husband's laboratory and that's missing.
Yes, it's gone.
Why did he have heroin?
He was doing some drug research for the government.
Was he expecting anyone last night?
No. I left shortly before 8. He was working.
In the garage?
Right.
And you didn't see anybody?
No.
Margaret!
Excuse me.
Margaret, I am so sorry.
Why don't you stay in one of the staff cottages?
Oh, thank you. I was planning to do that. Oh, this is Lieutenant Columbo.
Marshal Cahill. Professor Nicholson was a close friend and associate. Margaret, why don't you go on? I don't think you should stay here any longer than you have to.
All right, Lieutenant.
I think that's a good idea.
Excuse me.
I miss lunch.
Make yourself at home.
What's that?
Chili.
That looks good.
Yeah, have some.
Think it's all right?
And Sunday morning coming down.
Say, that's delicious. I never tasted chili like that before.
That's special recipe made out of squirrel meat. That's good, ain't it?
Yeah, that explains it.
Hey, Luke, I thought you were riding back with us. Where you been? I've been to get the cops to find out how you killed Edna. You going crazy. You did it. You know you did it. You killed both of them. You're fired. Get out of here. Ah! You're crazy! Get him out of here! What's the matter with you? Give me that. You crazy? Ah! Get him out. Boy.
Mr. Brown, I'm terribly sorry about this.
Who are you?
I'm Lieutenant Columbo. I'm from the LAPD homicide.
Homicide? What's he been telling you about me?
Well, if we could just talk privately, there's nothing to get excited about. Just want to ask some routine questions.
Ain't no need for everything to stop. I'll be right back. Let me see that guitar. If he's busted that guitar, I'm gonna bust his neck.
Excuse me, sir. A police officer to see you. The same one who was here this morning when you were out.
Yes, would you ask him to come in, please?
Excuse me, sir. I hate to trouble you like this time. Lieutenant Columbo?
Yes, Lieutenant. My maid said you were here earlier. I'm sorry, I had to make some arrangements, you
I hate to
understand?
bother you like this.
No. Like a cup of coffee, Lieutenant?
No.
Afraid I've been drinking too much coffee today, but I didn't sleep very well last night.
Thank you very much.
Is there something wrong, Lieutenant?
Wrong? No, sir. Not at all. A couple things I want to clear up just to satisfy myself.
Satisfy yourself how?
The way your wife died, Mr. Caldwell. A couple of small things probably don't mean anything. I spoke to your maid, Mrs.
Fernandez.
She's a nice lady. I guess she worked very long hours yesterday. It must have been a big cleaning day.
Well, I really wouldn't know.
Apparently your wife was out shopping all day. Mrs. Fernandez left here at,
Oh, it was after 8 o'clock, Lieutenant. And my wife and I arrived home about the same time.
Your wife was downstairs?
Right, in the living room having a drink.
Mrs. Fernandez says she was wearing a red dress.
Yes, I believe it was.
I see. And then you went out 9 o'clock?
Yes.
Was your wife still wearing the red dress?
Yes, Lieutenant. Look, we had a couple of drinks. I left. Now, she didn't get ready for bed until I called her around 10:30.
At the club? They found you at the bar when the police finally located you?
That's right, Lieutenant. Look, Janice apparently went upstairs to change. She put on her nightgown, heard a noise, came down and surprised this burglar. I mean, I should think the facts would speak for themselves.
It's very strange. See, there's one thing.